Hi, how are you? Welcome to another episode of the Run Pass Option with Pro Football Hall of Famer Isaac Bruce and Doc Holliday. I am Doc Holliday. Isaac is off tonight, but I got this because it's something that I want to talk about and I need to discuss. Something I feel like is extremely important. Breaking news went through. The Brooklyn Nets announced that Ben Simmons would miss the next 3 to 4 months because he needs back surgery. Ben Simmons, the one they got over in a trade from the Philadelphia 76ers midseason. Ben Simmons, the one that national media and a lot of other people have been trashing, talking bad about, attacking his character, throwing insults under the belt, below the belt insults, saying all kinds of mean things. I mean, mean and nasty things. And let me say this, I don't know Ben Simmons. I don't know anyone connected to Ben Simmons. I haven't spoken to anyone connected to Ben Simmons. I haven't spoken to Ben Simmons. I haven't spoken to anybody that played for the Nets. But I am going to speak to you all about the hypocrisy and the dead-ass wrongness of some of these national media members. Now, I'm pretty sure if you're listening to this, you've heard somebody say something negative about Ben Simmons in the last couple of weeks, over the course of the last couple of weeks. Now, like I always say, you can criticize somebody's basketball ability. That's fine. I mean, people on Twitter can say what they want to say, but when you're a national media person and you're on national television going way beyond things that has to deal with what someone does or does not do in the athletic sports venue spectrum, you dead ass wrong and you need to be called out, just like they like to try to call out people. Now, we know a lot of national media members, as I said some pretty disgusting, horrible things about Ben Simmons. They were mad at Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons did not play in the Brooklyn Nets first round playoff series against the Boston Celtics. They got even more upset about Ben Simmons when it was put out there that Ben Simmons may be making a return to play in game 4 against Boston when the Nets were on the verge of getting swept. They eventually end up getting swept. But that comes out, then it comes out that Ben Simmons is, after all, he's not going to play. Also, then they got mad. They got pissed off. The biggest one, the biggest hypocrite, the biggest clown, Stephen A. Smith. Now, Stephen A. is probably one of the most disrespectful. No, not one of the. He's the most disrespectful, prideful, assholey-ish media personality out there. And he thinks because people laughing with him, it's all good. Now they laughing at you. But he loves his stage. He's a prideful guy, but I'm not going to use, I'm going to use this to call out what he said about Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, after finding out that Ben is not going to play because of his back, that is indeed hurt. Ben Simmons might also be the weakest. Now, this is Stephen A. Smith. Quote now. This is not me. Stephen A. Smith on Ben Simmons. Quote. Ben Simmons might also be the weakest, most pathetic excuse for a professional athlete we have ever seen in not just American history, but the history of sports. Now, Stephen A. Smith said this because Ben Simmons is not playing basketball. Stephen A. Smith said this because Ben Simmons has been getting paid money, a lot of it at that, and not playing basketball. Been getting paid money that's not Stephen A. Smith. He hasn't been taking any money out of Stephen A.'s pocket. But he said, but just because Ben Simmons has not played basketball, but has been getting paid, he's the weakest, most pathetic excuse for a professional athlete we've ever seen in the history of sports. Think about how strong of a statement that is. Think about how many assholes we've had in the history of sports who were racist, misogynists, wife beaters, criminals, rapists. But Ben Simmons, who hasn't done any of those things, Stephen A. Smith says he's the most pathetic athlete in the history of sports. Stephen A. Smith went on to say, quote, I feel bad for anyone who was his teammate. He quit on LSU. He quit on Philadelphia, the 76ers. Now he ain't showing up for the Brooklyn Nets. This is one of the most pathetic situations I've ever seen in my life. It's pulling teeth to get this man to play basketball. It's pathetic. It's sad. That's what Stephen A. Smith said about Ben Simmons, because he wasn't playing because his back is hurt. Ain't nobody gonna have surgery on their back and they lying, because a back injury is a serious situation. Having surgery on your back anywhere is a serious situation. But that's what Stephen A. Smith said about it. See, that's the thing about it. See, this proves you that Stephen A. Smith and the rest of these national media personalities, they don't have any inside sources. They don't have any inside scoops. They're reporting secondhand information and try to make it sound to y'all like they dialed in, like they locked in, like they connected in. No, they're not. Ain't nobody telling them anything. Because if somebody was telling them anything and they had some inside sources, there's no way in the hell he would have said what he said, because he would have known that this man is legitimately hurt. But he ain't the only one. He ain't the only Cooney Tune. He ain't the only one. Shaq on Ben Simmons. Because he said this on Ben Simmons not playing because of his back hurt, which Shaq didn't believe. Shaq says, quote, in the hood, we call this a punk move. On Ben not playing in game 4 against the Celtics. Quote, if your back hurt, get some ice hot, I'll send it to you. We call this a punk move. He went the punk move way by saying, I'm going to play, my back hurt, but no. I don't think Ben Simmons ever said he was going to play. I think he said he was going to try to play. But that wasn't good enough for y'all either. He knew how hurt he was. The Brooklyn Nets knew how hurt he was. Because I think the coach said he didn't expect them. Steve Nash said they didn't expect him to play anyway. But Shaq said it's a punk move. If you need some ice hot, put some ice hot on it, I'll send it to you. Because he's a spokesperson for ice hot. He sells everything. He hoards himself out to anybody who give him a check. But that's what he said. It's a punk move. Because Ben Simmons didn't play and his back is really hurt. He needs surgery on his back. But Shaq said it's a punk move. He didn't play. That was Shaq said. Barkley on Ben Simmons. Shaq is right. No, he didn't say it like that. Barkley on Ben Simmons. That's it right. That's it right. I can go on and on about Barkley, but that's basically what he said. Shaq is right. But when Barkley says it, all I hear is, Shaq is right. Shaq is right. Reggie Miller on Ben Simmons. He works for TNT too now. This dude has zero competitive fire. It was actually the fire emoji. Hashtag man up. So Reggie Miller says Ben Simmons has no competitive fire. Hashtag man up. They talked about how he dressed. His back was hurt. He couldn't play. But they didn't know that because they don't have any inside connections. Kendrick Perkins on Ben Simmons, Mr. Co-signer. This is what Kendrick Perkins said on Ben Simmons, quote unquote. Quote, Ben Simmons is the pretty girl that's single, and everybody is wondering why she's single because she smokes cigarettes. That's who Ben Simmons is, the pretty girl that smokes cigarettes. Quote, also Perkins. Ben Simmons is like the baddie that can't keep a man because they end up finding out that she smokes cigarettes. Newport shorts at that. The worst. He think that's funny. He also said Ben Simmons pulled off the biggest heist in sports by sitting out a whole year and not playing and getting paid what he got paid. His back was hurting. His back is hurting. But you said he's stealing because he hurt. And you compare this man to a woman that smokes cigarettes. Can't keep a man. I know a lot of women. I know women that smoke cigarettes. They got plenty of men. So you insulting women that smoke cigarettes now? Well, that's what you do. You don't make any sense by what you be saying. You just be trying to be funny. But you're not funny. You're not funny. You weren't being funny when you refused to speak up for Maria Taylor when Rachel Nichols talked about it. But you defended Rachel Nichols, but didn't defend Maria Taylor. You ain't tough, dog. And that ain't funny. That ain't funny. My mama used to smoke cigarettes before she passed away, and my dad loved her. She smoked Virginia Slims. So shut up, dude. Skip Bayless on Ben Simmons. I don't blame Ben for ducking game 4. How the hell did he duck it? He was hurt. He throws that in there. I don't blame Ben for ducking game 4. How does he duck it? And has anybody ever had a back injury? Back injuries hurt. Back injuries are painful. A lot of times you can barely walk with a back injury. Back tightness, man, that is uncomfortable and it's painful. But Skip Bayless says Ben Simmons ducked game 4. But now we know Ben Simmons is actually hurt. So Skip Bayless ain't connected in. They ain't got no connections. Only connections they got is NBA, NFL executives and sports executives and personnel telling them what to say, telling them who to attack, because all of them attack dude. Skip also goes on to say, and honestly, this is a shot at him. Ben Simmons is the most stylish, non-playing bench player that I've ever seen. He took a shot at him. Bill Simmons on Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons now targeting game 7 or 8. Details to come. So he's trying to be funny because he knew the Brooklyn Nets were about to be swept. And he says game 7 or 8. He being an asshole with that because it's only 7-game series in the NBA playoffs. Trying to be funny. Damian Woody on Ben Simmons. This Ben Simmons fiasco is crazy. Like, bruh, you have all offseason to deal with whatever you got going on. So he was saying, bro, what's wrong, man? Go play. Forget your long-term health. Forget how you feel. Go play. Don't worry about your back being hurt and you might hurt it more. Don't worry about that. Try to play for the team. Now, if you go out there and hurt your back even more, they end up having to cut you. So what? But do it anyway, even though it's money guaranteed. Come on, man. The Iron Sheik, whoever this clown is, Ben Simmons, what the F? I break your effing back for real. So now you threaten a young man. Threaten him with violence, and people think that's funny. And his back hurting for real. But the Iron Sheik said he's going to break it anyway. Also the Iron Sheik. Ben Simmons, next time I see you, I show you what a bad back look like, jabroni. Call him a jabroni. Now, Ben Simmons can show you what a bad back looks like. All he got to do is pull his shirt up because his back is hurt. Darius Slay, Philadelphia Eagles cornerback. Bruh, weak as F for that SHIT. Weak because he hurt? So all these media members owe him an apology. But guess what? They're not going to do it because they're so prideful. They know y'all going to listen to him anyway. Whether they lie, whether they say derogatory, untrue things about people, they don't care because people listen to them anyway. And they give them a pass. So I'm going to call him out. Every chance I get, I'm going to call him out. So they owe Ben Simmons an apology. So y'all should demand that they give Ben Simmons an apology, even if y'all don't like Ben Simmons. Because if next time it's Ben Simmons, next time it could be somebody else. This time it's Ben Simmons. Next time it could be somebody else. Somebody that you actually like, who they target on, and they come together in one consent to try to tear down. Because they all came together in one consent to try to tear Ben Simmons down. For whatever reason, I don't think he did anything personally to any of them. But they said the meanest, nastiest things about the dude, and he actually is hurt. He actually has a back injury. But that's what I wanted to add. I wanted to call out these bogus media members who owe Ben Simmons an apology, but guess they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Prideful, liars, hypocrites, disrespectful, disgusting. Some people will say anything and do anything for a check. Well, Stephen A. Smith actually, I'll say that's the first thing he thinks about when he wakes up. How to make his bosses some money and how to get some of it, instead of not having how to make himself some money and start his own thing. So, and Barkley said he'll work for the Ku Klux Klan if they pay him enough. But these are the dudes y'all listen to. But anyway, they owe Ben Simmons an apology. Y'all owe Ben Simmons an apology. But as for me, that's going to do it for this edition, just a special edition, addressing the Ben Simmons situation edition of the run pass option with Isaac Bruce, Pro Football Hall of Famer Isaac Bruce. He's absent. And myself, Doc Holliday. I'm out.